and medium sound and then no sound.
Correct. So now what happens here, when we look at japa, it is more about the repetition. So our major portion is on repeating a particular thing again and again and again, so that it cuts the any mental formation which is happening. And instead you are thinking on that what you are saying. Let us say I take Om and I keep on repeating Om for hours together. That becomes japa. So I will do 1 lakh Om or 1 lakh Gayatri and all that. And then I'm supposed to do tapa after the japa. So in the Buddha teaching, you don't have both. You don't have japa, you don't have tapa. Tapas automatically happens in whatever you are doing. So this one, in the Buddha teaching, what would happen is that you will be in meditation all the 24 hours because you are completely aware of what is happening. Whereas in our Vedantic thing, it is you have to sit somewhere and do it.
Yes, correct.
You have to do japa, and then during that time only you have all experience, and after that you are back to whoever you were.
Yes.
So Lata has been joining, and yesterday we had that discussion, or one lady wanted to know what is the exact meditation we need to do. She wanted to know the walking meditation. That is, now we sit and do it is one part, but what about when we are walking, when you are talking, when you are listening, when you are climbing, when you are sitting, when you are standing? That time what do we do? That is a question.
Correct.
So maybe Lata can explain, because yesterday she tried it out.
Today morning I tried out. So yesterday I didn't listen. So that's why today morning 3:30 I got up. And anyway, nobody is awake and it was complete silence everywhere. So I did this. And so it is the same thing as Vilas was mentioning earlier, that you be the light and then see what's happening. Or you observe the breath. So that's what I was doing. I was observing the breath as an observer. And then once I was observing it, I experienced the stillness. And that only the stillness was remaining. So I was not there actually for some time, not for a long time, but for a short period of time. And so that was my experience. And then there's the other method Vilas was explaining, that observe as a third person. Observe whatever you are doing as a third person. So that I have not tried. So then I thought, Padmashree used to always say, and when she was small, in the young days, she used to act as if somebody else is watching her, and then you have been the best behavior. So I thought this will help Padmashree very much, because she will be able to relate to it, because she has already done it, I think, in the young days. So that's why I forwarded that to you. So you look at the first half an hour, and then I guess you can easily pick it up, because you are doing it. You have been doing it always before.
Earlier I used to do it. I would act as if the whole thing is a movie and I'm acting in a movie, and there are a group of people who are sitting and watching the movie. So you want to be, you will, how you want to watch others, you will be like that. Your best behavior will be executed.
Yeah.
So that is how I used to do it.
Yeah. So I think so you will be able to do it very easily, I felt. So that's why I forwarded that in the group. So you listen to first half an hour where Vilas is explaining how this has to be done, and the remaining half an hour is actual meditation session. So you will not hear anything. So you just have to listen to the first 30 minutes.
Also, it's a guided meditation, that 1 hour.
Yes. No, half an hour guided and half an hour you are doing it. See, actually,
I practice.
yeah, and another simple thing is that you have two hands. So make the left hand as you and the right hand as your breath. Okay, so at present we are moving along with the breath, meaning the consciousness is moving along with the breath. So it hides the gap between you and the breath. There is a gap. This is what Vigyan Bhairava Tantra also talks about. There is a gap between you and the breath. You and everything, there is a gap. Like you and the identification as Bhatt or Lata or Padmashri, there is a gap. You have got nothing to do with any one of them. So what you need to do is, this meditation is make your left hand as you, or make your right hand as you, whatever, you in the sense consciousness, and the left or right hand as the breath. You are watching this poor thing called as breath coming up and going off. After some time, you will find that there is no breath at all. Only you exist. Breath is gone. So maybe I will put on the video. See, now this is the left hand and this is my right hand.
Yeah.
So this left hand is me and the right hand is the breath. Right at present, they both are happening like this. Now I have to split it. This remains fixed. This remains like this. Actually, how it is happening is, you are like this. In front of you, this is going. In front of you, everything is appearing and going. You are just a witness. This is Sakshi. And this is going like this. So it is, your breath is going up and down and up and down and up and down. If you start watching like that, after some time, this will stop. This will just become like this, leaving only the consciousness. So there is no mind. Okay, this is on sitting and meditating. Now what if I were to do standing meditation or walking meditation and eating meditation, sitting meditation, all kind of meditation? Now this will not work now. So for that, what you need to do is, just like what Lata explained and what Padmashri used to do when she was, let's say, child. This is watching all the time as a third person. So in quantum mechanics, there is this double slit experiment. In that you have a particle and a wave. So generally our mind behaves like a wave. It goes in different direction. But when you put an observer, like a camera in front of you, it turns itself into particles. So what you're trying to do is, you as consciousness all the time have been sleeping. So the mind is doing what it wants to do, not fearing the consciousness. Now you are watching every moment. And then what would happen is, somebody is closely watching you all the time. So the example I was giving over there is, there is one doctor by name Suyog. So I told him that guy is watching me all the time, whether I am sleeping or sitting or standing or going to toilet or bathroom or brushing teeth or whatever. If you make something like that, by some chance that you are not able to skip it, that becomes pure awareness in every posture. So when you are in that awareness, you are released, meaning the mind drops off.
So you can make that observer as any of the god, Krishna or Rama or Buddha or anybody.
You can bring anyone. You can bring it.
Or you can be yourself.
Yes. The best is yourself. That is what Vivekachudamani is all about. But then if you want to go towards bhakti, then you can bring Krishna or Rama or whomever you want, and that person that is watching you all the time. So just like Kanakadasa, when he was asked by his teacher, do you want to eat banana where people are not there? And then he says very clearly that there is no place where the God is not seeing me. So you will get into that kind of.
That is perfect meditation all the time.
That's exactly what you can do, is what I'm telling you. So there are two ways you can meditate. One is as a light reflecting on you and you're watching, so it will become like this. You are fixed and that is moving. So then you know what is dhruva and what is adhruva. Adhruva is what is not stable. So you will really see that you being a sakshi, you have no death and birth. But if you are the bhava, you are going to have death and birth. So Satchit Ananda, if you are Sat already, then the Chit Ananda is already there, because that is not going to change. But the problem is that we have started with Sat. We should have started with Asat. Then what you get is Sat. So we have started from Sat. So it's very difficult to understand Sat. So what you need to do is, the first meditation technique is, you make yourself fixed as consciousness, not as Bhatt, not as Lata, not as Padmashri, as consciousness, the Paramatma, whatever you want to call. And you make this as the Jivi, which is Bhatt or Vilas or Padmashri or Lata or whatever. Now this being there, this is coming and going, which is the truth. So if you start observing like that in the breath stops. That means the mind goes away. So there is nothing called as you being there or you not being there, because you never existed in the first place. So it was just a mental fabrication. That becomes shunya there. That means you don't exist. Like what we did yesterday. So you look at which room you are sitting, the other place is shunya. So you are purnatva here and that place is shunya. So if you implement that practice, the jagat goes away, then the jivi is remaining, then the body and the mind goes away, then that means the jivi is gone. So what leaves out is Ishvara, which is the left hand. Okay, so jivi, jagat, Ishvara, you can experience the same way as these two. This is one method of doing. So then you know, you're aware of what is coming and what is not coming. Similarly, on the second side of it, you need to make like what Lata said about Krishna or Rama or whomever you want, and then you have to go be with that God, and that God is watching you, everything you're doing. So you can't say that, look, I forgot to wish the God. No, you can't. And that is bhakti, surrender.
Including the thoughts.
Yes, because the thoughts are also part of the God only. So you cannot think anything without offering to the God.
So everything will be Krishna Arpanastu. Everything.
Yes, that is what we keep on saying, but we don't know how to do the Krishna. That is the problem with our teaching, is that you have what should be done. But in Buddha teaching, you have how it can be done. So once you know that how, you can come back to what. That is the advantage. See now,
So I think for us to get liberated, this one practice is enough.
yes, absolutely. There's no
If you are
doubt.
able to get it.
Yeah, the only thing is that you need to get it. So yesterday, those 3 ladies and 1 gentleman, they tried. Only one person was able to get it, because he got it when I was talking to him some days back. But the other 3 have not got it. So they are going to try again. So I told them it takes time. So don't get agitated that you are not getting it. If you get into agitation mode, it will not work.
Yeah, you need a calm mind.
No, what you need is that you have to have not calm mind. You should have an acceptance that it is not working right now. See, now the left is okay. You can try it out right now itself. Take 10 minutes. Now it is 8:48. 8:58. We can again talk further on this Shankara.
Can you just repeat that step? What
Yes,
is
yes. I have
1,
also
2, 3. Yeah.
I have also opened the video so that you can see what I'm trying to say. This is you.
Yeah.
You're sitting wherever you're sitting. You're sitting on the chair.
Yes.
You're sitting on the cot, or you're sitting wherever you're sitting.
Uh,
or dining area like in Padma Shri or wherever you are sitting. That is you.
yeah.
The breath is not you.
Uh,
Now you observe the breath as though somebody is breathing, like your wife is breathing.
uh.
Try that out. You have seen your
So-
wife breathing, right?
So one hand is me and the breath is not me.
Breath is not you.
Uh,
Then you will see breath going up and coming down on its own. You are not breathing. You have got nothing to do with breathing.
okay.
Try that out.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Padma Shri, you can also try. Okay, so let's get back. How was it?
I got a very similar feeling of when I do Gayatri mantra.
Okay.
But 3 times in 10 minutes it came out, and again I had to pull back.
Yeah, that
Maybe
happens.
because, yeah.
That happens. So this is the practice what you can do. And another one is that when you are out of this, you can look at somebody is watching you all the time. That is
Yeah,
very
this breathe. Earlier you told me that breathing focus because it is neutral, doesn't have any raga dvesha.
correct. Correct.
And see, when you watch the breathing, your focus goes on that Uchvasa and Nishvasana up and down.
Correct.
But is there a need of making it stable, because then the breathing rate comes down?
Yes, the mind is associated with breathing. See, when there are thoughts coming, your breathing will become deep or shallow. So let's say somebody is like you are looking at a project and you are not happy, and then if you watch your breath would have changed.
Yes.
And that is the mind which is actually doing it. The agitation is in the mind, which is associated with the breath. So if you are in touch with the breath, then there is no agitation at all. Simple. So you should be the observer all the time of breath, or if that is not possible, make somebody watching over you. Padmashri, what's your experience?
Actually, I've been oscillating between that one and the observing.
Okay.
Somebody else observing. I don't know why. I tried this for some time and then I felt that was easier for me, so I went into that.
You better do that observer, because you already been doing it, so it is the best thing. So there are two methods. And the second method can be used in all situations. And that is scientifically also proven. So if you go and search for double slit experiment, you will see the same thing, particle and wave. So the photons are both.
What is that experiment called?
Double slit experiment. I'll send you that link.
Okay.
There is one a nice YouTube video also in that. Double slit experiment. It's called as they had made one cartoon. So I'm just sending it right away. So this is the photons, what gets fired, which is you basically, and these are electrical or rather light particles, and they behave both as particles and waves. So if there is only one single slit, it hits only one spot, but if you put a double slit, it turns itself into wave and becomes randomized. So all our thoughts are photons, just like if you look at our brain, and the neurons are what chittas are all about. So they keep on firing and they are discrete, they are not in any ordered. But when you put an observer effect to it, it automatically tends to become a particle instead of wave. So by becoming an observer, you becoming the observer, you are making the chitta not to fire whatever it wants. So you are making the chitta get still. That is what is yogaha chitta vritti nirodha. So you are literally making it still. In that stillness, it's full clarity because there are no chittas which are firing. So the mind space is clear. So there is no dirt. So I've just sent it so you can watch it later. And I think Padmashree, you'll be able to relate your experience on somebody watching and this video. They both looks the same. Okay, so now continuing further on the verse number 30. So if somebody doesn't have dispassion and yearning for liberation, then that person is running in a mirage filled desert wherein he is searching for water. So the shamadhihi bhana matra, that means it will just be an appearance. So I can say that, look, I am practicing or doing Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadama, Uparati, Titiksha, Samadhana, Shraddha, Mumukshatva. Like that I can say, but I am not doing anything at all. So what basically happens is that if we don't have this clarity or what is that we want to do, then what Shankara says is that generally the mind is dull. So when we wake up, it is not charged up. So it will always, there would be something which can be procrastinated to tomorrow. And most likely the mumukshatva will be procrastinated to tomorrow because tomorrow exists. Even in reality it doesn't exist, but the mind knows that it exists. Just like what we did an experiment yesterday, and I didn't ask you how was that experience. So maybe you can share that experience of that shunya. Padmashree, were you able to try that out?
No, not exactly in that way I could try it.
Okay. But were you able to find peace till the end of the day?
Yes. Meaning it was nice. Even now, no, that kind of it doesn't wear off very easily. That peace, meaning that what do you call that kind of a disturbance which is there, or you called it by some other name, agitation. Yes, agitation is not there.
Correct.
Now.
Very good. Yes, you are also right that it takes 2-3 days for that peace to go away on its own.
Yeah.
So you'll be always
And you're continuously in that mode. But if you keep remembering it, that wearing off also extends. Meaning, not 2-3. If once you do for 2-3 days, you don't do anything, it still stays. But if every time you remember to do something and that stays for some more time, you feel that okay, it is still continuing with you more.
Yes.
Meaning the number of times you are not peaceful is less.
Yes, so that is called as smriti. That means remembrance. So you remember to that you were at peace, and immediately peace arrives. So you don't have to do anything. It keep on extending.
Yeah, that's what I felt.
Yes,
Meaning,
that's correct. That's correct. Good, very nice. How about you, Bhatt?
For me, it was much better. Because a number of times I tried, not like 10 minutes. Whenever I got opportunity, I just tried. It's working very fine. I should continue. And peace of mind throughout the day. And huge confidence. Because earlier, some worry was there inside. Always, with respect to time, you see uncertainties throughout life, right? Why? Now, that worry has come down.
Okay. Very nice. So yesterday, one of my friend had come. We always have this spiritual talk whenever he comes. So he stays near my home. So I put on the video of what we had recorded yesterday. I've been telling him that this you can practice. It's very easy. About Jivi Jagat Ishwara. And he used to feel that no, this is not workable. And after you, three of you explained your experience, he felt kind of convinced. So he said I'll do it. So then he did it and he felt, yes, what you're saying is right. It is indeed giving me peace. So I said, why don't you do it all the time? So then you don't have to run away anywhere, because he keeps on running away to one place to another place, saying that I'll go on Mauna for 3 months and I will not do this for another 3 months and like that. But he is always in agitation with himself. I said the first thing you need to do is remove agitation from your mind. In whatever state you are right now, you should be happy. If you think going to a place and becoming Mauna for 3 months gives you happiness, then you're wrong.
I think the concept of right now here, that works with all these meditations.
Yes.
There is nothing to worry. That's what I think. Why to worry? Anyway, it is known that uncertainties and how that uncertainty will create problem for your body and mind. If you think only, it will happen. Mind, body anyway. After X number of years, that's what it's life.
No, that everybody knows, but the problem is not about that knowing. The problem is we want to do something about it. See, when we want to do something about it, we always want to do something. So knowing very well nothing can be done, but we want to do something.
I think from the meditation point of view, what you think till now, right now, what I do is important. Future, no need to worry, because it will guide you what you should do.
Yes.
It based on many things, factors.
Yes.
And when we don't know all those factors ourselves, there is no point in worrying so much. If you are happy now, that happy will give you enough energy to keep yourself happy.
Correct. So now coming to verse number 31, it talks about moksha. So moksha karana samagryam, that is the samagri, meaning the ingredients necessary for moksha. Bhakti eva gariyasi, that means the bhakti, surrender, is the most important. Swaswarupa anusandhanam. So now this is exactly what we tried to do yesterday, wherein wherever you are, there is life. Wherever you are not there, there is no life. So the peace is when you are imagining something where you don't exist also. So from one room to another room, I imagine that room where I am not sitting at all. So now there is fear. Where I am sitting right now, there is no fear because I am available here. But I think about the other person, other environment, other rooms, other places, other events and all that, and that brings in lot of distress. So if I were to be in swaswarupa anusandhanam, be always in one's own real nature. What is one's own real nature? Is Purnatva. But you cannot directly enter Purnatva without Shunya. So you need to first make what is not there as Shunya. That means you need to first make all other rooms as Shunya and you are here. So the Jagat is gone. Not only that room, it's all the relationships associated with that. Like, I can call this as my son's room. There is no son sitting here, but still I keep on reflecting that to my son's room. Like what you said, but that top room belongs to your daughter. Your daughter no longer exists there, but your mind feels that she was there or she is there. That has to be stopped. You need to just call that as a room. Like when I was explaining to my friend, and he said that in his home everybody sleeps everywhere, so there's nothing, no concept of bedroom. So I said to him that you are very right, so there's no need to call anything as a bedroom. It's just four walls. So if we have clarity like that, what we are sitting under is four walls and a roof. That's all. So we don't have to have a concept of home, concept of bedroom, concept of lavatory, concept of kitchen, concept of this, concept of all these are concepts. They truly don't exist. You name something just because you want to name it. So when we remove that, then what happens? Then you are with yourself. And that is what is called as bhakti iti abhidhiyate. That means mind is surrendered to the consciousness. Yeah, but you want to...
Here, it's very interesting. Now it talks about the bhakti in Shankaracharya's. We are talking about Shankaracharya is a jnana yoga, but what he says clearly here, bhakti is, it says, Tanna Atma Swarupada Anusandhanave Bhakti. That means the moment you, what do you call, Anusandhana, that means when you think that your Atma is, that is you, then it is Bhakti, right?
Correct. Correct. Not any gods and goddesses.
And understanding that is Jnana.
Understanding that you are, that is Jnana. Tattvam Ati is Jnana.
So Bhakti and Jnana is meeting here in this sloka.
That is correct. But Bhakti of what? Bhakti of yourself.
Correct.
So
Bhakti is only one, right? Is there two kind of Bhaktis?
No, that is what Padma Shri keeps on correcting whenever we discuss about Bhakti, that Bhakti is complete surrender. So the mind is surrendering to the consciousness, which is Atma.
Correct.
But right now it is not doing, right?
Yeah, see, the thing is, one category of people, they say, my God is X and my bhakti is to him. Other category says, my God is Y. The problem is because of X and Y. But X and Y both is equal to this only one.
Yes, so when we say it is one God, see, there is one God, there is absolutely no God except for yourself.
Correct. So as per Narayana Sutta, it is that Tishtati inside that your heart, mind.
The consciousness which resides in the mind is the one which you are surrendering.
Correct.
So now the problem is, but how do you surrender? That is not here.
And this surrender is nothing but mind is completely no ego, zero. That means you take out all these vasanas, everything. When you take out, it is fully surrendered.
That is correct.
Vilas, one sentence you said, when the mind is when the consciousness is inside the mind, most often our consciousness is not inside the mind. It is always, mind is full of thoughts. There is no place for consciousness at all. That
exactly.
is why we have problem ego.
Exactly.
If you remove those thoughts, then the consciousness can reside in the mind, and then mind and consciousness become the same. Yes. And at that time, that is the God inside you.
Correct.
So
we are searching for God outside, but the God is inside you only. There is no outside. Like, I give a classic example to my...
I am lucky that I have God with myself.
No. There's nothing like you're lucky or you're unlucky. That has been there all the time. The Sat Chit Ananda is there all the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling. Everyone has that.
Yes, so there is nothing called as luck or unluck. See, Shubha, Ashubha. No, but if you look at Bhagavad Gita, it says very clearly, Shubha, Ashubha Parityagi, Bhaktiman Yets Priyo Naraha. If you say you are lucky, that means you are the mind, because then only you will feel luck.
I think the best thing is to say that you are pure.
Yeah, there is nothing called as luck, or there is nothing called as no luck, unlucky.
No punya, no papa. No
Yes.
punya, no papa.
Yes.
When you reach there.
So how do I reach there is that you have to make one shunya and one purnatva. Then only you will reach there, otherwise you will not.
What is Shunya? What is Purnatva here?
Where you are there is Purna. Where you are not there, there is Shunya.
Ah.
Like what we did yesterday.
Hmm.
See, but if you call somebody as your wife or daughter or husband or son or house or whatever, they are mithya. They did not exist and they will never exist, no matter how much you try to retain them. Because they are concept, they are not real. What you are finding in your home, who is going around right now while you are sitting in your this room and talking to me, is a GV. There is no wife. If you keep on searching for wife, you will never find. You will find a GV. You will never find a wife. So the Jagat is the name what you are given as wife and husband and son and daughter and home and this and that. You will never find it. What you will find it is a 4 walls and a roof. That you are naming it as my daughter's room. But your daughter is not there in the room at present to call her as a daughter.
Yeah.
So you are going behind Nasti, Na Asti or Neti. Isn't it exactly what Shankara also speaks? How can you call something which doesn't even exist? So it's only a memory which says that no, my daughter exists. So if you were to leave that, you are not a bhakta right now. If you were to leave that, then you will see what is bhakti. Because wherever you are there is bhakti. Wherever you are not there is no bhakti. If you move from one room to another room, that room no longer exists. Let's say from your place where you're sitting, but you come down and you go to that vegetable vendor and looking at the mango and you want to buy the mango. Are you there in the room? Now that is...
I am not. I am there where I am. Always one.
So that is what you are.
See, actually, when you reach that stage, you are there everywhere also.
Everywhere in the sense, you don't get confused. Everywhere in the sense that every human being, every being is you. That's all.
Yes.
It's not every place is you. No. Every human being is you, because there is nothing called as Desha and Kala. Then there
But
is...
the word that Kanakadas and all that, he is there everywhere. It means where? Without him, there is not any space. You can't identify any place without.
Yes, what Kanakadasa means by that is, if you are bringing somebody as watching you, then you don't exist. Isn't it or not? It's the same thing. What this is also, 31st verse is also talking about. If you bring in the observer, like what Padma Shri was talking about, she is able to do the observer effect. If you bring in the observer effect, then you don't exist. Only when there is no observation, you exist. Meaning, husband can only exist if there is no observation. If there is observation, there is no husband at all. You two people cannot exist at the same time, but bhat cannot exist and husband cannot exist. No, not possible. Either of the one will die. And since bhat is a GV has to die. So the Jagat
Actually, what happens in this process, I don't know what I felt. I'm just telling, when you're doing this observe this one, thought process. In the beginning, you're very conscious about you and somebody else watching you. Slowly, after some time, what happens is this becomes somebody, meaning the one who is doing becomes somebody, and the observing one becomes you. That is when you feel that peace actually. So in the beginning, you consider that one as somebody else actually, meaning somebody who is watching you. That is what you think. But after slowly, when you keep on doing this for so long, then you will already feel that this is somebody, and that is
You.
that is what is you who is observing this somebody doing something.
Yes.
So the whole thing at that time looks like a drama.
Absolutely. Then you know you are that consciousness is playing a husband role. There is no husband there. His consciousness is playing a wife role, but there is no wife there. Consciousness is playing a daughter role, but there is no daughter there. Like that son, like that this, like it, like that. So you will enjoy the drama. You as consciousness will start enjoying the drama. Because there is no mind there. This is the practice what you need to do, but so either through that one, like two hands, one left hand is you and the right hand is your breath, or you should bring in the observer like this and practice. And then you become a bhakta. 100% sure of what Padma Shri was saying is you will experience it. That you will surrender. Because there is no you. So you are surrendered.
Yes.
So you have to keep on trying. So 32nd verse. Svatma tattva anusandhanam bhaktihi iti apare jaguhu is what he says. That is constant inquiry. Svatma tattva anusandhanam. Anusandhana means continuous. Anu means in accordance to. Sandhana means to walk through. Always walking through in accordance to your own true nature. Bhaktihi iti apare jaguhu is what is defined as bhakti. That means at no point in time you should be involved with anything else. Now what is this anything else? If you are a husband, then it is anything else. If you are a wife, then it is anything else. If you are a son, then you are anything else. If you are a daughter, then it is anything else. If you are an employee, it is anything else. If you are a manager, then it is anything else, like that. None of them is true. If you think you are the body, then it is anything else. If you are thinking you are a mind, then it is anything else. Then you are not in bhakti. So what you need to do is to be you. And that's called as you forever. That means you are there forever. Bodies come, bodies go, but you are the witness of all the bodies. And that is bhakti. 9:27, I think we'll start on Guru Anusandhana tomorrow. From 32b verse. Because the 32 has two sides to it. One is bhakti, 2 and 4 other relating to Guru. Ukta sadhana samapannah tattva jignasuhu atmanah upasid gurum prajnam yasmad bandha vimokshanam. So if somebody is a bhakta and he is interested in knowing his own self, should approach a proper guru learned in this field, by whom he can release from the bondage of samsara. So that is the verse 32. There are two parts of it. One is what is bhakti as a conclusion, and another one is the reason for approaching a guru. That is, he has this qualification and he is going to the guru.
So going to guru is a requirement in this
No.
Shankaracharya's method.
No. Bhakti. Self-surrender, interest is the requirement. The mind.
But to get the knowledge, you need to get from guru, right?
Yes, the knowledge you have to get it from the guru, but you need to have that mumukshatva to liberate the mind from the clutches of consciousness, or liberate the consciousness from the clutches of mind. Either way. Now, you as consciousness is clinging onto the mind.
Yes.
So you have to now put effort to stop clinging to that mind. Because mind has only concept. It doesn't have any reality. That is why it is called Jagat. So wherever you are is true. Wherever you are not there is not there at all. So right now I am sitting in this chair is reality. Everything else is mithya.
Actually, this is very true, no? Because and this is where this bondage also comes. See, now there are so many things in the world, but we don't consider all of them as ours. So they are not existing at all for us. But
Yes.
everywhere we are related to, we feel that those are all connected to us, and that is why they all seem to exist. But the moment you leave that bondage also, then nothing exists. Because in our mind today, the thoughts that are there are only related to all the things which we are bounded to.
Yes.
There are so many things in this world which we are not entirely connected to at all, and for us that is a lie, because that is not there at all.
Yes.
The moment you leave bondage, I feel all of these are so related. The moment you leave bondage, it is the same thing, right? Because there are so many other things. So out of the 900 things, now this 99 also goes and preaches there, and then there is only one, that is you.
Yes. Very correct. Good one. So for how to do it, you have to approach a guru, but you need to have interest that you want to get out of this conceptual reality. This, what we are doing today, is conceptual reality. Everything is a concept. There's nothing in this world which is not a concept. The whole Jagat is a conceptual reality. You show one physical body and you start relating that to a son or a daughter or a father or a mother or this or that, and make it look so much puffed up with labels. Even the body doesn't exist. Forget about anything else. So there's so much mithya there. It's nothing to be dying. The body has gone somewhere. Like, in your case, but your daughters have gone to America. They don't exist here. And in fact, they're sleeping now. They don't even know what you're doing here. So how do you then own your daughter is the question. And that is bondage. You are considering them to be your daughter. That is the problem. Where you are sitting, there is no daughter, including there is no wife also at this point in time. In fact, there is no Padma Shri, there is no Vilas, and there is no Lata.
Only sound. Only sound.
Only sound. There is nothing else which is coming. So what is real here? Only sound is real. But the sound is saying it is Vilas' voice. That is mind. Consciousness is only sound. You are consciously hearing to the sound. But you think it is Vilas' voice. You think it is Lata's voice. You think it is Padma Shri voice. And that is called as concept. This is conceptual mind. then that is what Jagat is. So now it creates an image of Lata, Vilas and Padmashree in your mind. And like that with everyone. Whereas you presently are only sitting on a chair. That's all. Yeah, go ahead, but you wanted to say something.
It was going in loops. My mind now. You are telling all this very nice concept. Okay. But the moment we get into the work, now the mind starts working. Like the engine is started, so-called the mind. Continuously work with acceleration, deceleration and all that. And that time, that is the reality. And bringing that one as not a reality is a real spirituality.
Yes. Very true.
With no second we reach there.
Yes. Because that is how mind pulls the consciousness. So mind is associated with consciousness.
The same mind is fully trained to understand it is not a reality.
Yes.
But when it goes there, it says that is a reality.
And that is the reason there is one shloka in Bhagavad Gita that says Manase Bandhu, Manase Shatru, or Manaha.
Correct. I read the other day that shloka. Yes. I just read it 2 days back.
Yeah, that is what it is. And now if you conceptualize wife, you are dead already because there is no wife and you are conceptualizing it and you are attaching yourself to that wife. Whereas the person whom you are seeing is a Jivi, is not a wife. It's just a Jivi. And Jivi is occupying that space till that consciousness remain in her body. The moment consciousness drops away, the body is gone. And that is dukkha. Because it's conceptual reality.
Yeah, that is right.
Same thing with the other two are having husbands. Same thing with both of us who have wife. All the four are conceptual reality.
It is very, that Bhagavad Gita shloka 265 says, Prasade sarva dukkhanam anirasyopa jayate prasanna chetaso hyashu buddhi paryavatishtate.
Correct. So when you associate with something, you are dead. You are literally in pain. So that is mind and this is reality. Should we end or I don't mind?
Yeah. I think we can end. We can continue tomorrow.
Okay, all right.
Manase shatru, manase
Bandhu.
mitra.
Yes. So he says in
Vilas,
he says in that chapter Bandhuratma, that is on the 6th chapter, you'll find all of this.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll continue tomorrow then.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Okay, bye.